Hey Caitlin, it's Chance. If you can, I want you and Paige and anybody that you can get to watch this video with you to please do so. But before I say what I need to say, I just want to say, I got your Christmas present to me and I love it. It's beautiful. Thank you. I hope you guys had a good Christmas and a happy New Year's. But I want to start off by saying, Paige, I'm sorry for what I said to you. I really am. I never meant to get you mad or anything. But something you need to realize is that you wouldn't let me speak. And I went off. And I was in the wrong. And I do apologize. But there's something that you need to know. I know about the situation with Caitlin currently. And Paige, I can tell you for a fact that that's the wrong thing to do. You say that Caitlin is like a sister to you and that you love Caitlin. If you really love Caitlin, why would you send her to a group home? Because if you send Caitlin to a group home, that's going to scar her for life. That really is. That's going to make her feel like she doesn't have anyone. And she doesn't deserve that. She needs family like you and Tara. And there's something that you don't know. Sending Caitlin to a group home is what Nicholas, aka Marty, wants. And I know you're probably thinking, what's the story with Marty? Well, let me explain it to you. Last year in July, I lost a good friend, Jamie Nicole, whom he was dating at the time. And she had passed away on July 21st. And nobody knew why. Everybody was scrambling for about 2 to 3 days to figure out what happened, asking around and all this and all that. Well, I come to find out that she had died from a pulmonary embolism. And I had left it at that. You know, I didn't dig into it. Didn't care to, until some footage from a friend of mine had surfaced on YouTube. And the footage was how Marty was connected to Jamie's death. The footage, I don't know if it's still up or if it had gotten taken down. I don't know. But the footage was basically explaining that Marty is a known drug addict in Milwaukee. He had been there 2 days prior to her death. And she was complaining of a headache, so he gave her special, what he called her candy or whatever you want to call it. But it was actually drugs. She was having withdrawals for not having drugs for so long. Because she was trying to quit, and he weaned her back into it. And she needed the meds as a quick fix to, get rid of her headache. It's kind of like whenever you don't have coffee or caffeine for so long, you kind of get a headache. It was kind of like that. So he gave her some meds, or the drugs that they found in her system after her death. But she had taken it and was fine. And he had apparently left some there for her, just in case. And took off to go back to his home state. Or, not his home state, but like wherever he went to. Well, I had hung out with Jamie that night prior to her death on a live stream with myself and several others. And just something seemed off. Like, she was very, strange acting. She wasn't acting like herself. She was acting really weird. But I brushed it off as, whatever, maybe she's just in a weird mood or something's going on that I don't need to know about or whatever. So I just kind of brushed it off. Well, next night rolls around and nobody hears from her. Her friend Sean, who I've spoken to very recently, hadn't heard from her. Nobody had heard from her. And we all knew Jamie. Jamie was the kind of person that live streamed every day, every night. It didn't matter whether she was sicker than a dog or what. She didn't care. Like, she was live streaming. And she had built a very nice community around herself of people that cared. And, that's when we were all like, yo, something's up. Like, she hadn't live streamed at all. Period. And at first, the first few hours went by, we were thinking, hey, maybe she's just not feeling good, yada, yada, yada. And we all kind of were worried because she hadn't live streamed all day or that night. I eventually passed out. And then I wake up to a text from Sean and several other people whom I had on Facebook that were also friends with Jamie, saying that she had passed away. Now, keep in mind, nobody knew at this point exactly what went on. All we knew is that she had fallen over and hit her head on the end table and, got conked out and stuff. Well, everybody started pointing fingers at everybody. There were a couple people that said that I had something to do with it, which I think those were just trolls, to be honest with you. And then people started pointing fingers at Marty because everybody knew that Marty was the last one to see her alive 2 days prior. Like, actually in person, alive. Her kids had found her that morning on the end of her bed, dead. When she had passed, her oldest son, Caden, who is, a really good kid. He's not only a fan of my work, he's also a good friend of mine. I know Jamie's family as well as him. Like, he's a good kid. But I had found out from Caden that she had fallen over and hit her head. And that caused blunt force trauma to her head. Now, a few weeks go by and videos started surfacing of people coming out saying that Marty had something to do with it. So my initial thought was, okay, he had something to do with it. How do we get him behind bars? Like, how do we show this to the proper authorities? Right? And nobody knew. Like, we tried reaching out to the police many times over. They passed it off. They passed it off for some stupid stuff. I don't know what they passed it off as, but they didn't look into it. Because she was passed already, she was dead. Um, the coroner's office had pronounced her dead. Um, and they had also stated that she had some drugs in her system and some other shit. But I immediately went at Marty. I was like, look, dude, I know you had something to do with her death. Whether it was an accident or on purpose, it doesn't matter. Just tell me what happened. That night that you were there, what happened? He didn't say anything. He kept on, mouthing off and trying to make me look stupid. And so I flat out told him, I was like, look, dude, I know you had something to do with her death. Like, just tell me what the fuck happened. And he hung up after I had asked him that. And we didn't speak for a good while, actually. It was like a pretty good month, 2-3 months. Now, fast forward to a couple weeks right before me and Caitlin got together. Marty had asked to talk to me. And even though I was reluctant as hell to do it, given how much he likes to troll people, against my better judgment, I was like, okay, I'll talk to him, see what he wants. And everything like that. So I call him up, I'm like, what do you want? What's going on? He had sat down and told me that he had nothing to do with her death. And then I explained to him why I had accused him of Jamie's death. And I told him that there were many videos that had surfaced around that time showing evidence that he had something to do with it. And that's why I did what I did. Now, I sat right down in front of him, my friend Michael, who Caitlin met, who goes by the name Crypt K on YouTube. I had sat down in front of them, and mine and Michael's and Marty's friend Jasmine. Sorry. But I sat down in front of all of them, and I had told him that I was sorry on my own accord. I had gone up to him on my own and told him I was sorry for blaming him for what I said about him. He sat there and said in front of all three of us that he forgave me. Now, you fast forward past all the talking that we had done and him weighing into me, rightfully so at the time, and when I mean weighing into me, basically he was yelling at me, bitching at me, and all this other stuff, which at the time I felt I deserved, because at the time I had, thought that Marty really didn't have anything to do with it. Because he was showing that he didn't have anything to do with it. And I was like, alright, maybe, you didn't, and maybe I believed the wrong footage. I believed the wrong people, and I apologized. Now, like I said, fast forward to shortly after me and Caitlin got together, Marty wanted revenge on me for accusing him of Jamie's death. And he figured the best way to get his revenge on me was to go behind my back and contact your guys' family. And as you guys are very well aware, he had contacted your guys' family, harassed you, and all this kind of stuff. Now, fast forward after what happened, he has done some of the worst stuff to me that you can imagine. He has, not only done bad stuff to me, he had actually at one point blackmailed Caitlyn. And I don't know if you know this, Paige. I don't know if Caitlyn told you, but Caitlyn, if you haven't told her, you need to. Marty had tried to blackmail Caitlyn into attacking me on a live stream. Told her that if she did not attack me on a live stream, that he was gonna go after your guys' family and continue doing what he is still doing. He has made many videos on me attacking me. I've gotten in contact with the proper authorities where he lives at and where I'm at, and nobody's doing anything. And it's gotten to the point to where he's now resorted to stuff like this. There was one day where he had sampled rope sent to my house. And on a live stream, in front of myself, Michael, and several other people, he had sent me all this rope in this packaging right here, and told me in front of everyone that he was the one that sent the rope. He admitted to sending it, or having it sent here. And he had told me right there in front of everyone to kill myself. He told me, he was like, he had said something along the lines of, hey, why don't you go hang yourself with that rope since you tell everybody else to do the same thing. And that's when I told him, I was like, Marty, the only reason why I say what I say to you is because you attack me and you bully me and you push me to that point. I'm not the evil person that you make me out to be. And that's what he's been doing. He has turned friends of mine that I've known for years against me. He has, like I said, attacked my family, attacked my friends, and that's how Marty is. He'll use anyone he can as a human shield. He's the kind of person that if he's not happy with his life, nobody can be happy at all. And that's how he is. Now, fast forward to literally just a couple of days, actually not even a couple of days after he sent this rope to me, I had gotten in contact with Jamie's friend Sean, who I have on Facebook. But he goes by the name Sean Snipes on YouTube. He's a very cool guy, very nice guy. He actually served in the military. He's actually ex-Marine Corps. I had spoken to him and found out that Marty did in fact have something to do with Jamie's death. The meds that he had given her, the meds, which were drugs, that he had given her, were found in her body after her death. The coroner's office told Jamie's family and her son Caden and her ex-husband that the meds are what caused Jamie's pulmonary embolism, because it was the meds had triggered it, and she had fallen over shortly after taking it and had smacked her head on the end table that was right by her bed, which caused the blunt force trauma to her head. And that's how she ultimately died. But what's strange is that the coroner's office never went after Marty at all. And I'll be honest, Paige and Caitlin, I've been fighting like hell every day to try to have Marty brought down and brought to justice. But the police won't do anything. I've contacted the police many times here, many times in Milwaukee. I've contacted the FBI office many times. Just yesterday I tried contacting the Milwaukee FBI office and spoke with the chief of police there. And I told him what was going on, and he said that I would have to contact the police here. But the police here told me that I need to call down there. So I have been trying. And I'll be honest, I never wanted this. I never wanted the drama. And I'm sorry that it happened. And if I'm being honest with you, Caitlin, I want you to know that ever since you've been gone, I've been depressed. I've barely eaten anything. I'm angry all the time. I'm upset all the time. I'm being bullied now more than ever by Marty. It's hard for me to even wake up in the morning or get up because I'm so depressed. And I'm depressed because I miss you. I miss us. Plain and simple, I miss being happy with you. And I'll be honest with you, Caitlin. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Because unlike all the others that came before you, you saw right through the bullshit and the hell that I was going through and saw me for who I am and loved me and accepted me for who I am. And nobody's ever done that before. And Paige, I hope you can forgive me for what I said to you. But I hope you understand now the real truth of what's really going on. I want Marty stopped just like you do. But I'm gonna need your help to do it. I can't do it on my own. I need your help to put a word out there about Marty so that something can finally be done. And Paige, don't send Caitlin to a group home. She doesn't deserve that. You know, you call her your sister and you say you love her like a sister. Family doesn't throw family away like that, Paige. And by you sending Caitlin to a group home, you're ultimately throwing her away. And I know you're probably going to sit there and say that that's not throwing her away, that it's, you just don't want the drama, and I get that. But Paige, sending Caitlin to a group home is a mistake. And making that mistake is what Marty wants. He uses people as human shields. He's turned family and friends against me that I've known for years that no longer speak to me. I've lost some of my best friends in the world and family that I've grown up with to Marty, who no longer have contact with me. And Paige, you say that Caitlin won't be able to live on her own, but that's where you're wrong. I truly believe that she could. I truly do. Because she's a lot smarter than you give her credit for. And I'll be honest with you, Caitlin. I love you. I've always loved you, and I'm never going to stop loving you. That's never going to change. You know, you're the first person in my life to actually do good for me. You showed me the error of my ways and helped me fix them. You saw right through the pain and the suffering that I was going through. And you loved me for me. And no one's ever done that. I've been through hell and back so many times. But I can tell you one thing's for sure, Caitlin. You're the first one that has actually made a difference in my life for the better. And I'll be honest, yes, I've been live streaming a lot. And it's not that I want to. I've been doing it to pass the time, to get my mind off the pain of what Marty did, to forget about what he's done to me. Even though I don't want to. So Caitlin, Paige, I'm asking you both to please help me bring down Marty. Please. Marty needs to be stopped. But I can't do it on my own. The more people that know about Marty, the better. Because if we can get enough people to stop Marty, maybe then something will be done by the proper authorities. But Caitlin, I want you to know that I love you and that I miss you so much. I've always loved you and I will always love you. And that's never going to change. And I hope that, one day we can be together again. So, Caitlin, Paige, Thank you for watching this and allowing me to explain what's really going on. And Caitlin again, I love you so much. And I want you to know that even though we may not be together right now, that I'm still here fighting for you, for me, for us. And I'm still fighting to bring Marty down. As much as I can, I am fighting every day, every night. It's not easy, but I'm still doing it. So, Paige, if you could, please help me bring Marty down. I need all the help I can get. I really do. I need all the help that I can get. And Paige, please, please, don't send Caitlin to a group home. She doesn't deserve that. Please.